Hi everyone and welcome to our market analysis videos here at Zenfinex. For anyone new to the channel, my name is Connor and I'm the Senior Market Analyst at the company who provides to you these daily videos on market commentary and educational content on commodities, forex and also stocks. Now for today's video I'm going to be giving a final update to my October oil forecast, and as always I'm going to bring you the latest news on the demand and supply factors that have been influencing the price of this commodity. I'm then going to move on to the chart to check the key levels for the rest of this month. Okay, so looking at the fundamentals for oil, Wednesday's data showed crude oil inventories at minus 0.4 million barrels when the forecast was actually 2.1 million. And I said in the previous video that I thought that inventories were going to increase just to kind of cool off the pricing, the 7-year high pricing that we're seeing at the moment. And that wasn't the case. And this has meant that when the market has tried to sell off this week, we've generally seen a rejection and a wick has formed on the daily chart. This will be evident when I show you the chart. I'll move straight into and show you that right away. And this is a factor really supporting the bulls, whereas a factor supporting the bears is the news surrounding the natural gas and coal prices, which has really dominated the news at the moment. China's thermal coal futures fell by around 13% today, extending their losses since Tuesday, and that was when Beijing said it would intervene to cool the surge in prices of this commodity, which had been increasing the prices of oil. Originally, as I said, with this widening power crisis in China caused by shortages of coal led to record high fuel prices, which is why we've seen oil trade at this 7-year high. However, we're now starting to see potentially the end of this crisis. Obviously, weaker natural gas and coal prices are going to take away the support in the market for oil. So this is the most important factor to bear in mind for the remainder of this month. But as a whole, we're getting these two contrasting factors, these fundamental factors, which are really balancing out the pricing on the chart, which we can take a look at now. Okay, so looking at the chart for oil now, I'm just wondering if this price action that we've had really all week is really, it's a representation of what we're seeing on the fundamental side. What I just said, obviously the crude oil inventory is falling, which is supportive of oil prices, but then the counteracting intervention in the coal and natural gas crisis that we've had, which is obviously going to help oil prices to the downside. So we've seen these conflicting narratives, which means that this price action really is quite typical. We've wicked both sides and we've pretty much unchanged on the week, which we're just up. And I'm wondering now whether, from a technical side, if what we're seeing here, what we're seeing here is a sign of the market starting to lose some momentum. And as you can see, we have this spinning top here. We failed to break that 83 level at the moment, and we're really just loitering around this level. And if I add in the relative strength index, you can see that we have been in these overbought territory. So I'm wondering whether we're going to get a move to the downside, which I think where I'm liking oil to test potentially over the next couple of weeks, if we see this continuing fall in coal and natural gas prices from the intervention that we're seeing. Hi guys, thank you for listening to this video. Just really quickly wanted to touch on a really exciting offer we have on the website. It's a limited time offer, and if you head over to zenfinex.co.uk, you will see the offer in front of you straight away. And this is that you can trade Forex on a standard account with raw spread plus 0 commission. And now Zenfinex is also an FCA and no dealing desk execution broker. If you are interested in this offer, you can get in touch with the team by clicking learn more, or you can simply go to open an account where you can start the application process. I'm looking at where the liquidity is, and I see liquidity at this low here. Which is sitting at around 75. I'll put that as a take profit level because that is a selling take profit level for me. And what also is significant about this level is we have this liquidity sitting underneath. We potentially have these moving averages coming into play. You can see that the 50-day moving average is crossing over and below the 100-day moving average, and then it's crossed back up. A sign of a market which doesn't really know what to do at the moment, and we're waiting for that next real signal which is going to drive the prices. Now we can see that we're going to have a lot of stop losses here for anyone who's a real buyer of oil. Note we're at these 7-year highs at the moment, so I just feel like there's some factors that are starting to creep into play, which means that oil may suffer. Just in the short term. I think in the medium term to long term, obviously the factors that are supporting oil are quite robust. But just in this short term period that we have here over the next couple of weeks, I like to see oil falter around this 75 level, potentially wick below this, and grab liquidity below this 75 level before we then get that move higher up towards potentially testing that 80 level, which I think will be the next correction in the market. And then, because to be honest, I don't see oil trading much higher than this, than 85 as a maximum over the next month or so, personally, unless we have things that change, of course, which can happen. It's just my opinion. So I'd like to see a correction up towards 80, and then I'm really looking to sell down towards where these moving averages come into play, and potentially in the next few months or so we might actually get a retest of this 200-day moving average, but that does seem quite far away at the moment. If I try and make sense of the price action on a 4-hour chart, you can see that it's really just a representation of the daily chart. Obviously it's just more zoomed in, but what we can see is, for anyone who's a buyer of oil, and I like to do a balanced forecast, this is a good sign, because we have the 50-day moving average coming into play here. You can see we tried to break below and wicked back up. 50-day moving average coming back into play here. We tried to wick down and then close literally right bang on the 50-day moving average again before another move to the upside. And we've done exactly the same today. We've gone down and tested that 50-day moving average, and then we've wicked back up to the upside. And at the same time, you can see that the RSI indicator has actually corrected itself without actually much movement, which is a sign that, and again, it's happened down here as well. And you can see the movement we had from there, which is a sign that potentially we may go to look towards that 83 level, 84 level, should we say, which can be a take profit for any buyers off of a retest of the 50-day moving average with a stop loss sitting just below. And we may go and get a liquidity grab on the upside, because obviously anyone who's sold oil will have all their stop losses above this 84 level. And we may see a situation where before we get this move to the downside, we may go and grab some liquidity there, then get that move that I mentioned on the daily chart. So that's it for oil. That's what I'm seeing. It's difficult to predict at the moment. We're in kind of limbo, and we're kind of conflicting factors on the fundamental side. So we're waiting for one to really dominate and take over. I fancy the move to the downside over the next couple of weeks, but I'm wary of the 4-hour chart and the 50 moving average on the 4-hour chart, and potentially grabbing liquidity to the upside first. As always, if you could like and subscribe to this channel, we really do appreciate all the support that the channel is getting, and it's growing at a nice rate. I hope the value is good for everyone watching, and you continue to share with us your own opinions as well. Other than that, I hope everyone has a great weekend. That's our last video. We'll be back next week for 4 more videos, and not sure what the topics will be yet. We'll take a look at the charts over the weekend, and I'll update everyone as soon as I know. Have a great weekend. Take care.